Never eat this before bed. It triggers nighttime leg cramps. Those leg cramps start as a twinge in your calf. Then suddenly, you're wide awake, clutching your leg in pain. Before you know it, it's only 2 a.m., and sleep has slipped away again. Most people think it's just age, poor circulation, or dehydration. But the real culprit might be what you're eating before bed. In this video, we'll reveal 7 everyday foods that could be silently triggering your nighttime leg cramps, and what to eat instead to help stop them. Before we jump into the list, let me ask you this. Have you ever had a leg cramp that jolted you awake out of nowhere? Drop a comment below and tell us your worst one. You never know. Sharing your story might just help someone sleep better tonight. Also, make sure you stick around till the very end, because I'm going to reveal one food that's usually seen as healthy, even heart-friendly, but might actually be a secret trigger for your nighttime leg cramps. Chances are, it's sitting in your kitchen right now. 1. Caffeine. So let's start with one of the biggest hidden triggers, caffeine. I know that cup of coffee or soda is beloved, so we're not here to take it away completely. But if you're battling nighttime leg cramps, it's time to talk about what caffeine is doing behind the scenes. Caffeine is a natural stimulant, sure. It perks you up, keeps you alert, and maybe even makes you feel a little younger for a while. But the thing is, coffee is also a diuretic. That's a fancy way of saying it makes you pee. A lot. So while you're sipping that late afternoon coffee, your body is already working overtime to flush fluids out. And if fluids are out, that means less of the minerals your muscles need to stay calm, like potassium and magnesium. For people over 60, the effects of caffeine can be even stronger. Your kidneys don't conserve fluids as well as they used to, so that evening cup of tea or cola could be throwing off your electrolyte balance while you sleep. If you're prone to nighttime leg cramps, try switching to decaf or herbal tea after 4 p.m. and avoid soda altogether in the evening. Hydration is key, but so is holding on to those crucial minerals like potassium and magnesium. In conclusion, next time you reach for that afternoon coffee, just remember, your calves might pay for it later. 2. Alcohol. For many people, a glass of wine, a cold beer, or a little something neat is how they unwind. It feels relaxing, comforting, like it's helping you drift off faster. But when it comes to leg cramps, alcohol might be doing just the opposite. While it may make you sleepy, alcohol messes with how your brain talks to your muscles. It disrupts the signals that tell your muscles to relax, leading to misfires. That is, your muscles tightening when they should be resting. That miscommunication can cause your muscles to lock up unexpectedly, especially during the night. And while you might fall asleep quicker after a drink, alcohol blocks the deep stages of sleep, particularly during the second half of the night, where the real muscle repair and mineral balancing happens. So your body never quite resets, leaving your muscles tired, tight, and prone to cramping. It also messes with your circulation, especially to your legs. Blood flow becomes inconsistent, and muscles that don't get enough oxygen or nutrients tend to rebel, usually at 2 a.m. when you least expect it. Another hidden factor, your liver. When you drink, your liver goes into high gear to break down the alcohol. It prioritizes that task over nearly everything else, including regulating blood sugar and supporting mineral balance. That means fewer resources are available for maintaining muscle health. It's like your body put the muscle maintenance team on hold to deal with a party cleanup. So what should you do? If you drink, keep it early, drink water alongside it, and pay attention to how your body reacts. In summary, always remember that alcohol messes with your blood circulation and your sleep routine, so even though it may feel like it's helping you relax, your legs might be telling a very different story. 3 processed meats. Let's talk about processed meats: bacon, sausage, deli ham, salami. You know the ones. They smell amazing, taste even better, and for many of us, they've been breakfast or lunch staples for decades. But when it comes to leg cramps, they're not doing you any favors. Here's the issue. Processed meats are loaded with nitrates, nitrites, and other preservatives that have been shown to trigger inflammation in the body. That inflammation doesn't just affect your joints or digestion. It can also mess with the tiny blood vessels and nerves in your legs. When circulation is slowed or nerve signals misfire, your muscles can contract at the wrong time and refuse to let go. That's a recipe for a cramp. Even worse, these meats tend to be high in saturated fats, which can stiffen arteries and reduce blood flow, especially in the lower limbs. For older adults already dealing with circulation concerns, this just adds another layer of risk. And if you're thinking, but I only eat a little, keep in mind that even small portions add up when eaten regularly. A single serving of breakfast sausage can deliver half your daily sodium and a dose of inflammatory compounds, causing cramps for you at night. So what's the better move? Choose fresh, unprocessed meats when possible, like roasted chicken or grilled fish. Or go meatless a few nights a week with anti-inflammatory proteins like beans, lentils, or tofu. To summarize, remember that processed meats are full of saturated fats that may restrict blood circulation and cause your muscles to cramp when you're supposed to be enjoying a good night's rest. So, always try to eat fresh, unprocessed meat instead of bacons or sausages. 4 cheese. Whether it's a slice before bed, melted on toast, or a few cubes just to nibble, cheese feels like comfort food royalty. But your legs, they might feel differently. Cheese is high in calcium, which is important for your bones and muscles, no doubt. But here's something most people don't know. Your muscles need a balance between calcium and magnesium to work properly. Calcium makes muscles contract, while magnesium helps them relax. When there's too much calcium floating around and not enough magnesium to counter it, your muscles can stay tight and cramp. To make things worse, cheese, just like processed meats, is often high in saturated fat, which can slow blood flow and reduce the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to your muscles. Sluggish blood circulation means your legs don't get what they need to stay calm during the night. And since many people eat cheese late, on crackers, in pasta, even melted into a midnight snack, it often hits the system just before your body's trying to power down. That's when the cramps strike. Conclusion: if you love dairy, go for a lighter option like low-sodium cottage cheese earlier in the day. Or swap it out for foods rich in magnesium, like pumpkin seeds, leafy greens, or even a baked sweet potato to reduce your chances of getting a leg cramp at night. 5 chocolate. All right, deep breath. We need to talk about chocolate. We know, this one hurts. It's the go-to after dinner, the thing that makes stressful days feel a little more bearable. But for your legs, chocolate might be setting a trap. Here's the deal. Chocolate, especially the darker kind, isn't just sweet. It also contains caffeine and something called theobromine. That sounds fancy, but it acts like caffeine's cousin, another stimulant that keeps your brain buzzing and your nerves firing. And when those nerves stay extra active at night, your leg muscles can go into overdrive, cramping up when they're supposed to be resting. But we're not done yet. Chocolate also has oxalates, which are compounds that can block your body from fully absorbing magnesium. And if your magnesium's low, your muscles don't relax properly. Combine that with the sugar spike, and your body's juggling blood sugar, nerves, and muscle control all at once. Not exactly a recipe for peaceful sleep. This doesn't mean you need to toss every chocolate bar in the house. Just skip it after dinner, especially if nighttime cramps are already an issue. In conclusion, always remember that chocolates contains oxalates that can block your body from absorbing nutrients that help your muscles calm down. Instead of chocolates, you can try a few almonds, a piece of banana, or even some Greek yogurt instead, as these are foods that actually help your muscles chill out. 6. Pickles. Pickles have developed a bit of a health cult lately. Athletes swear by pickle juice. Some folks drink it straight from the jar. Others throw them into every meal and call it a probiotic win. And hey, fermented foods can be great for your gut. But if you're dealing with nighttime leg cramps, pickles might not be the little green heroes they claim to be. Let's start with the hype. There's a common belief that pickle juice helps relieve cramps. You've probably heard this before, maybe even tried it. The idea is that the vinegar somehow shocks the nervous system and resets the cramp. In some studies with athletes, it worked, temporarily. But here's what those studies don't often highlight. The amount of sodium in that tiny cure is enough to throw off your entire mineral balance, especially if you're not sweating buckets on a football field. For most people, especially older adults who aren't doing intense workouts, that much salt without physical exertion is a recipe for disaster. It can trigger fluid retention, nerve overstimulation, and mess with your electrolyte ratios, all of which are major contributors to leg cramps. And let's talk portion sizes. One small dill pickle might not seem like much, but who eats just one? A few slices on a sandwich, a spear on the side, maybe a quick crunch while raiding the fridge. And before you know it, you've unknowingly loaded your system with nearly half a day's worth of sodium. Plus, the acidity from the vinegar can mess with magnesium absorption. So while you think you're helping, you might be making your muscles more likely to cramp. And here's the thing, pickles aren't evil. If you're choosing fermented varieties with no added sugar or dyes, they can support gut health. But too often, we're eating mass-produced, shelf-stable pickles that are drowned in brine, loaded with additives, and eaten at the worst possible time, right before bed. At night, your body's trying to reset, rebalance fluids, and repair your muscles. If you flood it with high-acid, high-sodium snacks before bed, your kidneys and nervous system don't get the break they need. Instead, they work overtime trying to restore balance. And your poor leg muscles? They're caught in the crossfire, tight, twitchy, and cramping just when you need rest the most. In conclusion, if you love pickles, here's what you can do to avoid leg cramps in the night. 1. Choose fermented, low-sodium versions when possible. 2. Enjoy them earlier in the day, not as a bedtime snack. 3. Pair your pickles with potassium-rich, magnesium-friendly foods that support your muscles, not irritate them. You've made it this far, and now it's time for what I promised at the beginning. A food that looks innocent, feels healthy, and shows up in dinner after dinner. But when it comes to leg cramps, it might be doing more harm than good. Tomatoes. Tomatoes are packed with nutrients, no doubt. They're high in vitamin C, antioxidants, and a powerful compound called lycopene. All good things, but tomato products, especially concentrated forms like sauces, pastes, and juices, can also carry a heavy load of acidity and sodium, two troublemakers when it comes to nighttime leg cramps. Let's start with the acidity. Tomato-based foods are naturally acidic, and for some people, this can interfere with the body's ability to absorb key minerals, most notably magnesium. We've talked a lot about magnesium because it's essential for muscle relaxation. If your body can't absorb enough of it due to frequent acidic meals, your muscles may not be getting what they need to unwind. And it's not just a magnesium issue. Many tomato sauces and juices, especially canned or store-bought varieties, are packed with added salt to boost flavor and shelf life. That sodium can throw off your potassium-sodium balance, especially if you're already consuming salty snacks or processed foods during the day. The result? Stiff, irritable muscles, and you guessed it, cramps. The timing matters too. Tomato-based dishes like spaghetti, pizza, and soups are often eaten at dinner. That means your body is trying to process all that acidity and sodium just as you're winding down for the night when you need your mineral balance and hydration levels to be stable. For seniors, this problem is even more pronounced. As we age, our stomachs produce less acid-neutralizing enzymes, making us more sensitive to acidic foods. This can lead to more digestive stress and mineral loss, especially when those foods are eaten often. So what can you do if you love tomato products? First, choose low-sodium versions of tomato sauces and juices. Look for labels that say, no salt added, or low sodium. Second, try to pair tomato-based meals with magnesium-rich foods, like steamed spinach, avocado, or even a small baked potato. These help counterbalance the acidity and restore muscle-friendly minerals. And lastly, try eating these meals earlier in the day. A tomato soup for lunch is less likely to cause issues than a pizza dinner at 8 p.m. And one more tip, if you're making sauces at home, toss in herbs like basil and oregano. They don't just boost flavor, they have anti-inflammatory properties that may help ease the burden on your muscles. So there you have it. 7 common foods and drinks that might be messing with your sleep and your muscles more than you realized. The good news? With a few smart changes, you can take back your nights and wake up feeling stronger and more refreshed. If this video helped you out, hit that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our next health tip. And tell us, what other topics would you like us to cover? We're here to help you feel better, naturally,